This could happen anywhere to anyone, and we must do everything that we can to help out. So let's welcome now our next speaker, David Bliven.
Thank you. Thank you very much for everyone coming out tonight. I'm just going to infuse a little politics into the mix. So I think it helps to orient people as to why some of us are here. And for me, prisons, police, and the criminal system of injustice is so central to the maintenance of this system of vast economic and income inequality in this country. We actually, as many people know, we saw the massive expansion of incarceration go from about 300,000 people incarcerated in the 70s on up to 2.3 million today. Vastly disproportionately persons of color. It's what Michelle Alexander called in her brilliant book, The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness. So the reason why I submit that the criminal system of injustice is so central to the maintenance of the system is because we see so many of the social ills in society manifest themselves once again in the prison culture. So what do I mean by that? We see with the failings of the system to provide adequate education that the vast majority, and I think the number was 7 out of every 10 people incarcerated on the state level are high school dropouts. We see the manifestation in housing where there's almost a one-to-one relationship between the expansion of funding for prisons and the decrease of funding for public housing since the 1970s. We see it manifested in employment. During the 1980s, when you really saw prison construction boom in this country, spending on jobs programs was cut in half in that decade, while spending on prisons increased over 500%. We also have to bring into this mix the private prison industry and how we've gone from just five private prisons in the 1980s. We have somewhere, although it's hard to really get an accurate count, but I believe the current number is about 300 to 400 just in that decade, or in the decades since. Connected to that is the infusion of prison labor, where instead of invoking jobs programs in the 1980s, they made prisoners work. So, and it's not just jobs that existed before in prisons where people pounded out license plates. They're actually going to work for Apple, for IBM, for Microsoft.